If you're subscribed to this channel, you already know what Killing Floor is, a brutal, addicting co-op shooter that we've all lost countless hours to. Today, February 12th, the embargo is lifted. No more waiting, no more NDA silence. Killing Floor 3 is here, and I'm ready to talk to you about it. I've been playing this game since August of last year, but what I played back then and what you'll see today, it is night and day difference. This beta build is already outdated. By the time you hear this, some things may have changed, patched, or been tweaked, or outright scrapped. That's how usually game development goes. But what I can tell you is what I played and what is new, what's been improved, and more importantly, how much of the stuff that I mentioned in my Everything I Want in Killing Floor 3 video actually made it into the game. That's gonna be fun. And the big question that I'm sure all of you are asking is Killing Floor 3 still Killing Floor? And the answer is simple.
I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude. Even with its pre-release issues, this is the best Killing Floor has ever been, and I don't say that lightly. It's not perfect, there's always room to improve, but compared to the previous ones, this thing is really good. Now, am I biased? Of course I am. I love this series, I'm a fanboy, my whole channel is about this franchise, right? But that's exactly why I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. We don't get these games often, and it'd be flat out stupid for me to just sit here, lie to you, and then pretend everything is flawless. That's not why I do this. That's not why you're here watching this video right now, and this is exactly why it's important to disclose that at the beginning of anything like this. I want to be as honest as I can be when talking about this game. And just to give you some context, I play a lot of games, I know what works, I know what doesn't, and I know how to spot the cracks in something I adore. That's why it meant so much when Tripwire Interactive trusted me enough to be part of the process, to give feedback, to help shape this game into something that I would like to play, something that's great, and you know, if I'm being honest, something that's fun. They handed me and a bunch of like-minded Dosh-loving degenerates unlimited access to a content-ready version of the game. We had about a weekend to gather footage, hence why a lot of the stuff here is low-leveled, but like I said, I have been playing this game on and off since August. So does Killing Floor 3 live up to the hype? Killing Floor 3 is as simple as it gets. You pick one of 6 specialists, each loaded with their own weapons. They have gadgets, and you drop in alone or with a squad, and you just eviscerate a swarm of bioengineered nightmares, right? And they're all jumping you at the same time. They're all trying to jump you. Like you walked into the wrong neighborhood, and now they're jumping your ass. So you fight through the waves, you drop the boss, and then you get out. That's it. That's the game. And that's this video. We're done here. 10 out of 10. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the story in Killing Floor 3. I'm not gonna turn this into a full-blown lore video. This is not Killing Floor 3. What I do want to tell you though is that there are missions in the game now, actual narrative threads that pull you through the levels and bosses, and then they give you objectives to complete while you try not to get ripped apart. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you're a fan of objective mode in Killing Floor 2, then this is the same kind of deal, but just bigger, better, and with way more variety. Before, objectives were map bound. You welded doors, you fixed generators, and defended a thing, and then you were done, right? That was it. Now you have what we call assignments. It can involve extracting the brain sample straight from a Zed skull, going through a Horsing scientist's mailbox to piece through together the bigger picture, tracking down scraps of data buried in a pile of corpses. You're literally getting fed information through the story as you fight. There's no cutscenes, there's no downtime. This isn't The Last of Us. This is Killing Floor. It's round based, it's high action all the time. It's all about the gameplay. And now there's a bit of extra narrative, kind of like, you know, it's there, you know, it's nice, you know, it's for people who haven't played Incursion, that also had narrative moments, and I enjoyed that. Now, was this the kind of story I envisioned for Killing Floor 3? Not really, but I'm not that thrown off by it. This is just the start. The whole thing of this world that it's 2091, it's all going to keep expanding. There's going to be more characters, more missions, more maps, and, you know, more lore pretty much to be invested in. Now, let's talk about the Zeds. Do we have new ones? Yes and no. We're missing one. So as the time of this recording, there is no stalkers in the game. I have not seen a single one. Part of the joke was I thought that they just forgot to uncloak themselves and they're just chilling in the background. So we're going to start off by talking about the Cyst. They are back from Killing Floor 2, these sad little freaks. They were weak, disposable, pathetic. They're still pretty much pathetic in the year 2091, but they do have a new ability. The Cyst can spit now. It is a bloody, acidic saliva that blinds you and then eats through your armor. And yes, of course, they can also grab you and they can destroy the flow completely of what you're trying to do here. They are annoying. They are in massive numbers in this game. I call him Foreskin Face, to be honest. Whenever I see him, I just think that is fitting for what he looks like. They're basically the Temu version of the Clot. And now, speaking of the Clot, the OG Horsing bioweapon, you know, he's the first thing you headshotted in Killing Floor 1 back in the day. They are by far the most unchanged Zed in the whole roster. You know, I appreciate the fact that he has remained the same even after all these years, despite, you know, everybody pretty much getting an upgrade. If it's not broken, don't fix it, you know? Crawlers have been the most annoying character in the whole franchise ever since 2005. Crawlers are here and they can climb. They climb now. Those tiny, fast, and annoying pieces of wankers are back. And they climb now. In Killing Floor 3, they're the thing that makes you paranoid. You're always looking above you, below you, left or right. They'll flank you. They block your methods of escape. Before you know it, they're eating you. I'm a big fan of the redesign. I think it rocks. It reminds me a ton of The Thing. It's just pure nightmare fuel. The Gorefast, another practically unchanging Zed from how we've known him before, has a lengthy sword that can basically prick you at a distance, and it hurts. It really fucking hurts. I feel like these guys are faster now, but they've basically not changed at all. They are the same Gorefast that you fought since Killing Floor 1. And I appreciate Tripwire respecting that design, since I ultimately think that design is great on its own and it doesn't need an update. Sirens, they scream. You know, I think you've known this. If you've ever fought a siren before, they still give me tinnitus, and their scream blocks everything. Not just grenades, bullets too. Sirens have also been giving the Cyst treatment. They're now able to yell at you from across the room to go clean your dishes. These are fast projectiles that go through your armor and immediately makes you reassess the situation. Sirens, I feel, are now more sneakier than ever, and they tend to blend done really well with the crowd. Big fan of the redesign. I think it's one of the most creative designs here in the roster. The bloat is another largely unchanged Zed. It is bigger. I feel like it's tankier and no more cleavers this time around to block his head, so it's fair game, I'd say. I want to say he gets bigger in size when he's ready to shoot his goo. That's what she said. He can also shoot his ball of goo on the floor, pause, and creates a mine of sorts. If you're not really paying attention, you're just gonna walk over these and be grossed out. I wish I had more to say about this character, but honestly, he is just as he was previously, with bigger weak points than before. Husk. He's the flamethrower guy, and the Husk can blast off like a fucking missile. So they basically use their new ability to their advantage. They will snipe you from way far away in a building somewhere. I never can tell if they're up there. They are definitely a lot harder to spot because of this, and they are more challenging than they were before. I'm a big fan of their mortar and their new suicide attack, which is them literally kamikazing themselves to your direction. I think that is a much better solution than having to run up to you and then do this superhero pose and then explode yourself. I think that will lend itself to a lot of fucked up moments where you're at the end of the round and then suddenly this one Husk wreck your shit pretty much. I think it's a fun addition. I think it's a good change. I really enjoy fighting them, and of course their weak spot is exactly where you remember it being. So awesome redesign. I really enjoy the Husk. The Scrake this time around is an insanely overpowered motherfucker. I would say that he is quite literally the same tier as a Flesh Pound more now than ever, to the point where I think he might be better than the Flesh Pound because of this new ability he has. He has a hook. He'll grab you, he'll bring you in, and then he'll fuck your shit up. It is exactly terrifying as you think it is when you're trying to mind your business, then suddenly this guy grabs you and then boom, you're in the shitter. It is horrifying, and he has earned the nickname of Dr. Hook, an incredibly ferocious Zed. He can take damage like no other, and I do enjoy the fact that you can shoot off bits and parts, and then those will actually prevent him from hooking you or even chainsawing you. I think that's an insane amount of detail on the dismemberment here. Flesh Pounds are back. They're bigger, meaner, and more pissed off than ever. The oversized meat grinders for hands, yeah, they still fucking hurt. One leaping overhead slam and it really makes me reconsider playing solo. Whatever I try to do to slow them down, it doesn't really matter. They just go towards you no matter what. Once they get pissed off, nothing really stops them. They fight like I remember from the original Killing Floor. Those Flesh Pounds were brutal, unrelenting, and yeah, they're about the same height as they were before too. I might have made a Scrake comparison earlier about how they kind of reach the same power level, but don't get it twisted. The Flesh Pound is still the meanest fucking Zed out there, and don't you forget it. And that's about as much as I can talk to you about Killing Floor 3 today. I'll be getting more uploads out regarding the loadout system in the game, the skills and perks system as well with that, along with how progression and everything else works. A lot of finer details are here, and I can't wait to talk to you about them soon enough. But that should be all for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking this preview out. I will definitely upload more since I have tons and tons of footage. I'll definitely answer any questions that you might have in the comments. Again, this is a preview and it's not the only one. I encourage anybody who's watching this to get a different opinion from a different person who's also testing this game out with me. Anyways, thanks everyone. You guys are great. I'll see you on the next one.